Good afternoon once again, everybody. This is Brian Tarian, and thank you for joining the Disability Digest webinar. We're excited for today's event. We're experiencing a few technical difficulties because the event has maxed out, and so you may see these pop-ups on the screen here that keep coming up for people that are trying to get in. So we are delighted that everything that people have an interest in this event. So for those that can't attend it or couldn't attend it, that's why we're going to record it and send it back out to you. So we have a few guests here with us today. Well, actually, I think we may be down to one guest because of the technical difficulties. But Donna, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Great, you'll hear from Donna. And Chuck and Deborah, Denise? Okay, hopefully they can get back with us. So let's get started. Today's event was really brought on by what's going on in the marketplace out there for folks that are on disability, or even if you're not collecting a disability check. It's getting extremely tight for individuals to survive on a disability check. So here at the Disability Digest, one of our key focuses is to provide you with a easy-to-use membership that's free with resources that will help you get on your disability benefits. Or if you're already on your disability benefits, which this is targeted mostly for people that are on disability benefits, it'll help you maximize your disability benefits. And we do all of this. We're a for-profit company to make money so that we can put people back to work that are on disability. So that's kind of the who we are, what we do. My name again is Brian Tarian. I am the I guess you'd say the founder of this. We've been, the Disability Digest has been in place since 2006. So we've had the fortunate pleasure of serving, hundreds of thousands of people, and we look forward to serving you with today's event. So today you're going to get 5 tips, 5 key action items that you can take advantage of to help you maximize your current disability check and strategies. So I'm going to cover that at the end. And so to get started, the first thing, and pardon these pop-ups, Donna, are you seeing these pop-ups on the screen that keep coming up?
Yeah. They're real quick.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're going to keep coming. I'll do my best to minimize them. So that's people that are trying to get into the webinar. So one of the things I want to make you aware of, if you're a current disability recipient and you're on Medicare, there's, I guess, I wouldn't say a scheduled increase, but it's expected that there'll be an increase next year in your Medicare premiums of 22%. And a minimal COLA to offset those. So it means that it's just going to get a little bit more challenging out there. Since I've been doing this since 2006, I haven't seen a big jump in the COLA. I haven't seen other areas change as far as housing, for example. I haven't seen housing become more affordable or more available. So I really have kind of summarized it to some of the things that you need to do, that you can do, that I'm going to outline in this event for you so that you can, again, maximize your disability check. So I mentioned that today's event is primarily targeted for those that are on disability, but I do want to speak to those that are not yet on disability, or maybe you don't qualify for disability. There's still going to be some value in this event for you in listening to it. For those of you that are not on disability, some people haven't worked enough to qualify. There's resources that we're going to cover that certainly will help you out. And if you're thinking about applying for disability, or if you're somewhere in the approval process, then we certainly have information, some information that I'll show you that can help you out. But also these principles are going to apply to you, and some of them you can use now. So we tried to make this catered towards everybody. We're going to take some time to go over some some questions that you may have. If you do have questions, on the GoToMeeting software, there is a question feature. If you just hit the plus sign and open it up, you can type your question, and so we'll do our best to take some of those at the end, and all in all we're going to spend about an hour together. So if you follow my page and look at the page, and again, pardon the pop-ups that keep coming up, maybe I can put that guy down there. The first thing I want to show you for your tip, or the first tip that I want to have you be aware of, is to read your email just like you did for today's event. And the reason for that is, especially over the next 12 months, is we are going to continue to find ways for you to maximize your disability check, and we have several of them that we already have in place that we're going to announce and launch. And it could be simple things like what you could do to save money on your utilities, or certain states have specialized tax incentives, for example. So just stay tuned to what's going on. The second thing is, if you follow my screen, most of the key resources that we have are in our members area, and what I want to help you understand before we get into today's event is how to use the membership that you have here at the Disability Digest to your advantage. If you go to the disabilitydigest.com, which is what I'm going to do right now, if you ever need to come back and find resources, and if you just go up to the top right-hand corner, you'll be brought into the members area. And there's a video here that's about 5 minutes long that walks you through all of the resources that we have. And they're broken down into categories. So let's say you do have some housing questions and concerns and want to know what to do. Then you go into Section 4. Section 4A has been the most effective way to help people find housing. Or if you have questions about grants, or if you're struggling with insurance, or if you're somebody that is going through the disability approval process, you have a disability mini-course that helps people go through and apply or advance their case on their own. Also, you have the ability to speak to somebody that is an advocate that works here, that you're going to hear from Donna a little bit more in the program about what an advocate does and how they could help you through the approval process. So you have all of these resources here. So tip number 1, read your email. Tip number 2, if you're looking for something, you can come into the members area, or we have a support team that's here, support@thedisabilitydigest.com. And those are ways that you can find resources fast and easy to help you out. Now, several things that I'm going to cover today have to do with increasing your income in different ways that you can supplement your income. And before I get into that, what I want to explain to you and help everybody understand is what you can earn legally, and I say legally because you can earn money legally and keep your benefits. So if you are, and there's 2 different criteria here. If you're on benefits, it's one criteria. If you are going on to benefits, your earnings criteria is different. So first, I'm going to speak to everybody that is on benefits. And this is, of course, in our members area, but I'm just going to cut to the chase and go right to the Social Security website. In 2017, you can earn up to $840 a month and have no impact on your benefits. Now that's $840 a month after your expenses. So if you're doing this as an independent contractor, then it would be basically your bottom line after expenses at the end of the year. So you'd take out all your work-related expenses in your cell phone and your computer and any travel that you may have for the work that you do and that type of stuff. So for somebody that's on $1,100 disability check, which is the average check, earning $840 a month is certainly would make a big difference. Now, the second criteria is for those that are going on benefits. And oftentimes if you call Social Security and you ask the question, how much money can I make and keep my benefits, you're going to get either one of these 2 answers. even if you're on benefits, or you might get another one, you never know. So in 2017, if you're trying to apply for disability and you want to work, the threshold is $1,170 a month. Now, if you're working and you're under that and you're thinking about applying, that means you can by the regulations. However, those cases are typically hard to get approved because if you're working, it just kind of opens the argument that, well, if you're doing this job and you're making, you know, $900 a month with reasonable accommodations, perhaps you could earn, you know, more. So just be careful about that. It's something an advocate here can help you out with. All right. So we've covered a few things. Also, I do want to share with you, if you're interested in working and you're on disability, there is a whole pile of work-related expenses that you can deduct, even medications and sometimes personal assistance, reading, communication devices, anything that you would really need to, maybe you already have them, to make your life easier. So if you're thinking, you know what, I don't want to work, I really don't know anything that I could do, take a look at it from a business perspective of, you know, you can get some of these expenses taken care of. Now, I'm not a tax guy, but I'm just saying this is a great opportunity for people, even if you're only earning a couple $100 a month, to get some of these expenses as a deduction. So get with a tax person. First thing is, I always tell people to find something to do and start making money, and then worry about how to do all the other things. But I just want you to know that they're there, and they're a great resource for you. All right. Now, we're going to have to slightly modify our agenda today because some of the guest speakers that we had for you were not able to attend, and I believe it's because we're at capacity with the room. So we are going to modify our event a little bit. And one of the first things I want to share with you is one of the speakers and resources that you have available from today's webinar is Deborah Gugig-Bauer, and she was scheduled to speak here today, but I'm going to speak on her behalf. I know her work well enough to do that and how you could take advantage of it. So Deborah was a professional speaker, and she's taught individuals with disabilities how they can start a small business and obtain employment, or just really get back into the mix of things, what really would be a good fit for them to do. And she is going to be a resource for you that you can contact if going in that direction is something that you would like to do. She's also a certified voc rehab counselor for years, and so she's served and advocated for individuals with disabilities, not just putting them back to work, but also helping them find resources that they weren't able to obtain on their own. So you'll have access to Deborah, and there's links down here that I'm going to go through with you at the end of the program. So one of the things that she focuses on is learning something or taking something that you already know and leveraging it into something that you can do. And you would have the ability to contact her and speak with her individually, and I'll show you again how to do that at the end of the program. The next area that I want to cover with you is opportunities that we have here at the Disability Digest. So if you have an interest in doing something on your own, Deborah's a good solution, or if something that we have, what we have here is not a fit for you, and nor can we accommodate everybody that has an interest in working here, then Deborah's a good solution. But here at the Disability Digest, this business is mostly run by our members, which are individuals that are on disability, and we have positions that are made available to them. So we have two different types of positions. The first one is a referral partner position, and the referral partner position is really exactly what it sounds like. We train individuals to tell others about the work that we do, how we help disabled, how we help them get their benefits, how we help them maximize their benefits, topics that we cover here. And when they bring and introduce new members into the Disability Digest, they get compensated for it. So it's a team that meets once a week. We have an online meeting like this. It's got a complete training component to it. It's something that you can do from anywhere. All you really need is a computer. And you can do a lot of it online. There's also ways that we teach you where you can go out in your local community or talk to your doctor's office and help the individuals that go through the doctor's office understand what their disability options are. So that's one program that we're very excited about. It allows us to grow our business here at the Disability Digest and Fibromyalgia Digest, and it allows us to, most importantly, not have to pay money that we would typically pay into a traditional advertising. We instead put that back into the pockets of our members. So we're very excited about that. So if you're somebody that is, willing to learn or spends time online, is active in Facebook, is out there in your community, has done any of those things, advocate for individuals in any way, shape, or form, a teacher, a speaker, this would be a great way for you to, earn income to supplement your income. So in the income ranges, this is like a business. You can run it, and we've got people that make as much as they can make on a monthly basis, and we have other individuals that are, $100 and $200 a month. And there's a component of this where you can actually recruit and train and manage people like a sales team, like 3 or 4 people you can manage, and you get paid an override for them. So, and we would actually be excited to assign new individuals to you. So that's the referral partner program, and there'll be a link in this to check it out at the end. So you're welcome to come on in and check that out. Okay, you still out there, Donna?
Yes, I am.
Oh, good. So I asked Donna to join us today. Donna has worked with veterans for 18 years. She's been on disability since 2011, and started working here as an advocate, which I will explain an advocate what it is in a moment, and then I'll turn it over to you, Donna. Donna has helped individuals here, help them get their disability benefits, has helped people most recently with their Medicare needs. And I wanted to have Donna come by here and just really share from her experience of going through the disability approval process, and ideally share maybe a bit of wisdom, advice, or a tip that you could get or give to individuals that are thinking about, well, geez, I'd really like to do something out there, but I just don't know what to do or how to get started. So Donna, thanks for joining. Love to hear from you.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Well, when I first became disabled, I filed for my disability on my own. It was the hardest and longest 2 years of my life. I was unable to work. I had no income coming in.
Pardon me, Donna, is that your train coming?
Yes, my train, and I'm going to miss it.
We can wait for your train to go by. That's all right. Yes. Okay, great.
Okay. What I did was I basically took charge of it. Oh, there it goes again.
And if you could, we can hear you, but it's a little distant, so I don't know if you could adjust your mic a bit.
Okay. Any better?
A little better.
Okay. I became aggressive because of the waiting period. And I continually called Social Security Administration asking them what they were waiting for, what they needed. And I went out and got those. If it was an MRI report, if it was something from the doctor's office, an x-ray, anything that they needed. But it still took me 2 years to the day that I filed to get my award.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a long
If I
time.
would have known, yeah, if I would have known about the Disability Digest at that time, it would have been a blessing
Mm.
because it was just a horrible, horrible 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was facing losing my home. I had lost my car. It was repossessed. It, utilities were going to be shut off. I was borrowing from everybody that I could to keep me above water.
Well, that's a tough situation to be in, and I'm sure there's others that unfortunately have had similar experiences with the less than desirable wait to get approved.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
very hard situation to be in.
yeah. Um, so at what point did you think about venturing back out and doing something to contribute and work, and what can you share with the audience um, about that may be helpful for them?
Well, when you're an active person and then you become disabled and you can't do for yourself, you can't do for your family, it's very hard to face. You get depressed. You find yourself unassociating with friends and family anymore. And I just had to pull myself out of that. And I said, there has to be something that I can do. I can't live like this. And I know I couldn't go out in the workforce to work because of my disabilities. So I went on the internet and I found the Disability Digest. And I applied for the job and I went through all the training. This has been the most blessing I've had in my life. I'm back to helping people the way I want to. I advocate for them every day, trying to find the best way to help them with their disability or even with Medicare. I just did it myself and I'm saving myself $50 a month
Wow,
on my hospitalization insurance.
that's $600 a year.
Yeah,
That's significant.
it sure is when you're living on disability. Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, good for you. Good.
The job is very easy, but it's a lot of work. You're busy, and that's what I like to be, is busy and help as many people per day that I can.
Good, good. Yeah, so it sounds to me like you had the self-realization that you knew yourself well enough that you were active and you needed to stay active to be healthy.
Right.
Is that it?
Before I became disabled, I was working 2 jobs,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then it it just knocked me on my feet.
right. Yeah, I feel your message is a solid one for everybody out there, in that it may not be going back to do something that generates income that makes you happy. That may not be the place for you, but it may be service work that can be done, that will give you that, you know, that feeling. And maybe for a lot, other people I know, that has been the first step, is service work. Through a church or local organization or a local center for independent living. That is a great resource to check in with. So see how people can volunteer. Okay, great. Anything else to
Right.
add, Donna?
The only other thing I would say is that if you do have a disability, and you're contemplating filing for Social Security, I urge you to get involved with the Disability Digest. You will be with a team of people that are on your side, and we will help you every way we can.
Great. Yeah, let's. I'll just
get you the Social Security.
I'll just expand on that a little bit. The work that Donna does primarily is advocate work, and when somebody's going through the Disability Digest approval process, we sign in an advocate to their account. And the advocate is a resource that they can call and help them understand how they can use the Social Security Disability MiniCourse that we have to go forward and apply or advance their case on their own, and what other options are available to them. Maybe they want to use representation and we could help them find somebody. But thousands of people, literally thousands of people, have used our course on its own to get approved. But as Donna explained, from her own personal experience, she knew what Social Security needed for information. And that's really what we can provide for you, is an advocate with proven resources so that you can get Social Security the information that they need. So that's the work that she does. So I know a lot of you out there are on benefits, and this two-part helps you understand the work that Donna does, and maybe that's a position that you're interested in, is the advocate work. But if you know others that can be helped by the work that we do, then great. We have been fortunate to help over 11,000 people get approved through the work of the advocate team. And a lot of those we see getting approved at the initial application, which is usually in the 5 to 6 month range. So it's about 35% that do it right will get approved at that range. And that makes a big difference rather than waiting around like unfortunately Donna and I'm sure others of you had to do. So Donna, thanks for sharing that experience with us, and
very welcome.
And the work that you're doing with Medicare as well is great. So, okay, so the next tip that I want to share with you, and then we're going to start taking some questions from the audience. So, just again as a reminder for the questions, there's a question feature on the GoToMeeting software. Just go in and type your question. We're going to do the best we can to answer as many questions as possible in the time that we have here today. So just prepare for that. The last key thing is I want to share with you is about your Medicare. And some of you may already be aware of this, about the opportunity to maximize your Medicare, like Donna expressed her savings of $50 a month, and maybe you've already done it. And if you have, great. I'd love to hear what your feedback has been in the question and answer feature. But for those of you that haven't, and you haven't received or read any of the communication or videos that we've had, one of the low-lying fruit opportunities for you to reduce your monthly expenses is to make sure that you're on the right Medicare plan. What we have found is, unfortunately, a lot of people have kind of a set it and forget it mentality with Medicare. They get on it and then they don't review it. And there's 5 major areas for change that can drop the price. One is your condition or medication has changed. Could have gotten better, could have gotten worse. Medicare plan options change every year. Some states have over 20 options. And you know, every day you wait, you could be losing money. And a lot of people that are on disability qualify for a low-income subsidy. And that's a case-by-case basis. And if you go out and you search plans on your own, which you're totally welcome to do, then it's going to be difficult to pinpoint all the variables to get down to that. But low-income assistance is certainly out there. And so we have a free way in which you can go through at the end here. You can click a button and request a Medicare review. Now, if you haven't done this, or if you have done this and you haven't completed it, I just want to share this with you. I'll be as straight up as I can. your opportunity to change ends on December 7th. It's called open enrollment. It started in the middle of October, and Medicare specialists are the individuals that we suggest that you go to because they have access to all the plans and they can help you out, and it's free. They get paid by insurance companies to do this work, so it's beautiful. That part's great. The part that's not great is these folks are so busy that because everybody that is on Medicare, their window to change is all during the same time, this short 6-week span. So you've got to be patient, and you can request an interview at the end. I'll show you how to do that, and fill out the form, and we'll schedule an interview for you, and we'll give you a number to call, but you've just got to call. If you're on hold, just be patient, or call back and be persistent, and I would dedicate some time to doing this to get your Medicare reviewed, because it's working. Some rough math is that we are going to be able to save our members that have gone through the reviews, when we collectively put them all together, somewhere around $280,000 to $320,000 a month. And this is a accumulation of stories like Donna, who's saving $50 a month. Chuck, who was scheduled to be here, is saving $111 or $14 a month. So stories like that, when we just kind of roughly put those together. So if you haven't done it, take advantage of it, and do that. So that's it. Now, I'll go through all the resources and how to take advantage of those at the end. For right now, I want to answer some questions that we have in the group. Let me just see if there's anybody that has typed in anything that I might be able to. Oh yeah, we've got a bunch of them here. Donna, you might be able to see these too. If you click on the question feature, it will expand a window there, and you'll see where members have typed in questions. Okay. All right. I'm just going to address the PG ones. Okay. How does it work if you are on Workman's Company? Maybe that's Workman's Comp, and you get approved for disability. That gets a little sticky. There's some variables there, and I do know that there's an offset that can come out of your benefits, but I don't know all the details on it. So you can contact somebody here. We could dig into it for you. If you're using a disability representative, I would ask for their input on it. One of the things that I have heard is that, let's say you have a work comp offset of amount of $20,000, for example. One of the strategies I've heard of is that they spread that out, the $20,000, over 15 or 20 years, so it's like $1,000 a year. So that being spread out like that doesn't show that you've taken it all at once and have a significant impact on your back benefits. So there's different ways to do it. I'm not a work comp guy, so that's just enough to be dangerous information for you. Okay, here's one. Disability lawyer dropped my case, losing appeal at hearing, please advise. So what I would do is reply to the email that invited you here. Just say I'd like to be assigned an advocate, or maybe you already have one. Go into the members area, which is in the top right-hand corner here, and then into the disability mini-course. And you'll see in the disability mini-course that's up on your screen that you can request to speak to an advocate. And somebody could contact you. It may be the couple different strategies. Maybe the case that you have needs to continue to be appealed. Maybe there's an opportunity to file again. Don't know, Donna. Okay, so that would be my... Okay, so Cheryl is confused by the difference of what you can make on a monthly basis. So let me just repeat that. If you're on disability, you are approved for Social Security disability and you're receiving a monthly check, it's $840 a month. If you're not on disability and you're going to go through the disability approval process, then The regulations say that you can earn, I'm on the wrong one here. The regulations say that you can earn up to $1,170 a month. Okay, so the difference is if you're on disability, it's $840. If you're going through the disability process, it's $1,170. Okay, good questions. All right, so the next one is SSI recipient. Is it impossible to keep my benefits with any business on the side the more money my husband makes? Oh, okay. So with SSI, it's different because you have a reduction. Yeah, that's tough to get around. And this is for you, Gail. That was the answer to your question. Because every dollar that's earned collectively as a family, because you're married, is going to count against that SSI. All right. Yeah. Okay, here's another one from Cheryl. Applied 3 years ago, denied 3 times, got to the point where my lawyer wouldn't represent me at the next level, reapplied this spring, still waiting. Only thing I can say is something's not going right, Cheryl. I would strongly consider getting in touch with us to see if we can help you out if you haven't done so already. I think, folks, one of the things I'll say is if you can do one thing for anybody, including yourself or others that come to you about going in the disability process, is please don't tell them to go file on their own and see if they get approved. It is the biggest kiss of death and misnomer for a disability case because they screw it up in the beginning, and then what happens is somebody like, unfortunately, Cheryl, who could be legitimately disabled, hasn't had her case well put together, and you're stuck in these situations. So just don't do that. You're not doing anybody any favors.
May I, Brian?
Yes. Yeah, and if you could speak up, because some of the audience has mentioned that they're not able to hear you very clearly.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. I would strongly urge her to at least speak to one of our representatives because they would be upfront to her and let her know if she has at least an 80% chance of winning her case.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, they will tell her what she needs to do, and we will all work to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. So what Donna's saying is part of our strategy that we have here is learn how you can go forward with your case on your own and interview one of the disability representatives that we've worked with here in a network throughout the U.S. And if they can't take on the case, then they'll tell you why. They'll give you some ideas on what you can do to improve, or they'll tell you if it's just a no-go, and why. So yeah, that's a good point, Donna. Okay, here's an interesting one from Cheryl again. Haven't worked in 4 years. I want to speak to people out there. This is a very unfortunate part of the disability process. If you haven't worked, for disability, it's based on your work history over the last 10 years. And if you've worked 50% or more of the last 10 years, then you're likely still insured, if you will, for disability. So some people wait too long, and you can't get your benefits back once they expire unless you can go back to work. So right now, Cheryl, if you're at the 4-year mark, you've really got to take, you got to take some action and make sure that your case is going in the right direction. Yeah, we had a lady the other day. I'm trying to remember. It doesn't matter who she is, but anyway, she'd missed it by a few months, and she was in her early 50s, and so, when you add it all up, it's probably close to $300,000 in disability payments from the time that she's in her early 50s to age 62, and then when you turn 62, you know, you get your disability payments all the way up until 65, but the difference from 62 to 65 is about 40% more than your early retirement. So that in Medicare, it's just it's a big financial boo-boo, if you will. Okay. All right, Douglas, nice comment. Thank you very much. Okay, in approximately March of this year, Medicare deductions changed out of my account. I don't know. I wouldn't know why that happened. I'm not a Medicare expert, but that would be a good question for one. Okay. Here's one from Anton. I have arthritis in my back, makes it difficult to move at times. I have a few procedures down to help temporarily, but not completely. How would I go about trying for disability? First thing is either reply to the email that invited you here and ask to speak to an advocate, or again, up in the Social Security MiniCourse, ask to speak to an advocate. I also want to say this. If you are, a lot of people say, well, I have X, Y, and Z condition, will I qualify? And I just want to briefly speak to that and say that it's not the condition that you have, it's the severity of it and the limitations. So, yeah, just be aware of that. Okay, here's a good question from Beth. My check is $500 a month. Is there a way that I can get an increase in my disability check? No, there's not. Actually, if you're on Social Security disability, it's black and white. When you get approved for disability, it's based on how much you worked and paid in FICA taxes, and that's what you get. So you can get up to $2,600, which is if you had a high-paying job, or, you know, it can go all the way down, you're getting a $500 check. So for SSI, which is not Social Security disability, SSI is welfare, it's a needs-based program. If you don't qualify for Social Security disability from the work perspective, but you do from the medical part, then you could get like social assistance or welfare. Now, in that instance, there is some fluctuations based on your assets in the family. They review that. I think it's every 60 days, and there is some up and down possible in your check there. And okay, next question was the difference between disability and SSI, Doreen. I just answered that. Convenient. Oh, okay. What information is needed for an SSI review? We have a course on that, and this is for Luke. So if you reply to the email that invited you here and just say, I'd like the disability review course, we'll get that for you. Yeah. There's a few steps that you need to take, and it's some paperwork and how to fill it out right. You're going to see more and more of these disability reviews, and it was part of the Obama administration that started them, and they've been successful. Who knows what our new president's going to do, but I don't expect they're going to reduce them. What dollar amount does my retirement? Okay. I'm not clear on this question. What dollar amount does my retirement affect my disability SSI? So that one's not clear to me. Okay, so there's a question on the earning amount from Daniel, the $840. Is it before or after the taxes? So that would be your gross. So let's say you go to a job, you're going to go down and work at a grocery store and you know, do whatever you're going to do there. That $840 is your gross income before taxes. Now, if you're self-employed, which is a better way to do it, then it's after your expenses. Okay, I'm just scanning through the questions here. It's a lot of questions about getting approved still. How does age hurt your case? Well, I would say it hurts your case, but there's two different disability approval criteria. If you're under 50, you need to prove that you can't do any job in the United States 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. I mean, that could be greeter at Walmart, ticket taker at a movie theater. If you're over 50, the criteria changes, and it becomes more of proving that you are not able to do the type of work that you've done in the last 15 years. So it becomes easier. So let's say you apply when you're 47. It's going to be different than somebody that applies when they're 51 for that reason. Okay. All right. These are great questions. This is a question from Robin on behalf of a friend. Wanted to know if her friend can apply for SSI while waiting for her SSD decision. Yes, it's actually just a box on the application. But if she's already applied for SSD, then if she's doing the case on her own, contact Social Security. If she's doing it with a representative, have the representative do it. Okay, here's one from Mary. I was denied. The SS rep told me I had too much money in the bank, a mortgage. Okay. So that would tell me that you haven't worked enough to qualify for Social Security disability. I've used this line for years, and I don't want to say it for sake of convenience, but even Donald Trump could qualify for Social Security disability. Because it's not based on your assets, it's based on your work history. So one thing you can do to confirm this is I think everybody should go to the Social Security website and open their own account, which shows your work history and your earnings, and it will show you that if you qualify for Social Security disability income or if you do not. So I expect that's why you got that response. Okay, I know someone who was unable to work due to a disability for 18 months before retirement. Can he apply? You can apply for disability up until your 65th birthday. So if you're older than 65, no, you're not able to. I've been advised to start a new case, but I don't want to lose my back pay. Yeah, that's like a bird in the hand or, two in the bush type thing. It's really tough. You have to make your own decision, but what happens if somebody gets denied to go all the way to court, they can either start a case again or they can continue to appeal, but the higher levels of appeals have a very low percentage of approval. So if your condition has gotten worse in the meantime and there's more evidence and you've been able to stay treated by your physician, then it makes more sense from an approval percentage to consider a new application, and you would forego some back benefits, certainly. So you have to make that decision. Yeah. A good representative that you're working with could, maybe give you some comfort in what the odds are of winning your current case, and you could line that up against a new application. Okay, what housing options are available to disability recipients? So housing is a very challenging topic, but I'm going to just go over to our members area here and put it up on the screen. And what I want to show you is down here is item number 4A. I think this has been successful because it's not government related. It's a housing sharing program. And this works two ways. If you're in a home and it's too big and you want to offset some of the costs, consider home sharing. Or vice versa, somebody has a nice home and they're looking to offset the cost. I've known people that go in, they even barter for some of their what they would pay for rent or living in expenses, and they've been able to score like really nice rooms or mother-in-law apartments, in parts of a home. So I'd check that out for housing. The traditional wait for housing options are, I wouldn't not do them. I would certainly do them if you're going through the whole housing process, but just understand that the percentage for those is not very high. Okay, so I just want to see if there's any more questions here. Let me peruse through one more time before we wrap up. I also want to take the time to go through the resources at the end, but I think we've covered most of the key questions. Okay. Okay. All right. Great. Okay, so a few things in closing. First of all, I want to thank you all for taking time out of your day and coming out here. And Donna, I appreciate your contribution to the event. And for the resources that I covered here today, I want to go through with you how you can take advantage of those. And just a quick recap. First one is Deborah Gehrig-Bauer, who unfortunately was not able to be here because our room was at capacity. But when you click on the green link that I'm going to put this website link in the chat feature, and it'll be available with the replay, then you will be brought right to her Facebook page, and you can communicate with her there, which is a great way to get started. And the next resource is if you're interested in learning how the referral partner program that we have may benefit you and may be a way for you to supplement your income, then click the green button that says referral partner on it. There's a video here. It explains it. There's an application right there at the bottom. You can go in and check that out. If you are interested in maximizing your Medicare, then fill in the information here. Make sure that you check these boxes. If you're going through the Medicare maximization process, please be prepared to know if who your primary care is, which I expect everybody does, if they accept Medicare, what you're currently on for a plan, what you pay for it. Have all of that ready, including your medications, quickly, easily, so you can get it to them, because this is, again, extremely time sensitive. So just, have that information ready for you. And what I want to do is there's a chat feature here, and I'm going to put the link in the chat. I don't know if everybody can see the chat. Hopefully you can. And there'll be a replay that's sent around with all of these links that are made available as well. So my last thing today is this. Your membership here is 100% free. We don't charge for it. And we operate like a radio or a TV station where some of the pages you're going to have advertisements on it. We have sponsors. We earn some money from Social Security, earn some money from Medicare, but it doesn't cost you anything for the work that we do. So how we work and how we can put people back to work and offer opportunities in these free events is by having members. And the more members we have, right now we're right around this number, the more revenue we generate and the better services we can provide. So if you found value in this event, just tell people where they can learn about us. If you share the word, spread the word. Go to thedisabilitydigest.com, and that's 3 words, thedisabilitydigest.com, and get a free membership, or tell your friends how to get a free membership. I know most of you are already members, but you may know some that aren't. So that's it. Again, it's been a pleasure having you here today. Excellent questions. Thank you for your time, attention, and being a wonderful member of the Disability Digest. And this recording will be produced and sent back out to you, and hopefully within the next 24 hours. So thanks again. Make it a great day.